A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to warmly welcome our esteemed guests and our spectators who are gathered here with us today at INSL House of Legends 2021, the virtual gathering of the real legends. Legends are not born, they are created. Innovation Nation Sri Lanka is a place where legends are made. Today, we have invited here the actual hustlers of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka to share their stories of INSL's journey towards success. Be ready to dive deep and grab the best out of this wonderful experience sharing session. At the end of the day, we will be announcing the top 15 teams that are qualified to compete in the semi-final round of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. Now we are all set to embark on the virtual gathering of legends, INSL House of Legends 2021. You may also join us through Facebook Live on our event page or YouTube Live. That being said, I'm Pavani Vikramathilaka and I'll be your host for the evening. As our very own legends are lined up to inspire you today, I once again warmly invite you all to remain with us throughout to hear it from the real hustlers. And also to find out if your team name is announced as one of the top 15 teams. So prepare yourselves to rejoice when you hear your team name among the top 15 teams. All right. Now, it's time for us to start off the evening's proceedings. Join with us on this special evening. We have one of our very own persons to commence the proceedings of the day. Without further ado, I would like to invite the chairperson of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021, Mr. Manodya Nabadabava, to address the gathering. Let us welcome Mr. Manodya Nabadabava on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause. Mr. Manodya, over to you.
Hello, good evening, everyone, and thank you very much, Pavani, for giving me this opportunity. So, on behalf of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka Organizing Committee, let me welcome each and every one of you once again to this wonderful evening. Okay, so my duty here is to give you an idea about what we have done so far and what we are planning to do in future. Before I start telling that to you, let me tell you one thing that Pavani said that we are going to announce top 15 teams today. Yes, we are. So I would like to congratulate them. That's early congratulation. But do not worry. You know that there have been 367 teams that we have already shortlisted out of 1,346 teams who has applied for INSL this year. So don't worry, not only that selected 15 team will have a future journey with us. No, all of you guys do have a future journey with us. So don't worry whether you get selected to the top 15 or not. Your INSL journey doesn't end here. Okay, so things we have done so far, considering about all the things, the very first thing that I need to mention is, it's kind of mentioning once again because I have mentioned it a few seconds back, we got 1,346 applicants this year. So out of the 1,346, we have shortlisted 367 teams to our initial program called Road to INSL, which was a 4-day training program to get you an idea about startup ecosystem and how to do a proper pitch and how to create the business canvas model and simply how to fill our Innovation Nation global platform application. So I think with that, there were so many teams had so many issues. I think they have informed us that they have learned so many things about this. They have developed their pitch deck wonderfully, and so many teams develop their skills through that Road to INSL 4-day training program. After that, we got so many applications to the global platforms, but initially we have shortlisted 124 pitch decks to send to the judges. So out of 367, we have shortlisted 124. And from that 124, with the help of 8-member judge panel, we were able to shortlist or select 32 teams for the second round evaluation. So there wasn't a competition in that time because we selected 124, and then we have selected 32 teams out of that 124. Then from that 32 pitch decks, we had a 3-member judge panel that initially they initially they gave marks to all those pitch decks, and then all 3 judges were get together and choose top 15 teams, or the startups, or the teams with the better pitch decks out of that 32. So those 15 teams will have the access to the IN startup library, which is a global, that is the platform that we are calling global platform, because not only Sri Lankan final semi-final teams, but also the semi-final teams from Bosnia and Herzegovina as well as Malaysia, they also do have the access to the same platform. So we will have a separate awareness session regarding that platform for our top 15 teams after House of Legends. So I think that will be a wonderful thing for all of you guys as well. So that is how we have evaluated top 15 teams. So for the 15 teams that will get selected today, that's, I need to say that you guys done a wonderful job, because from 1346 you were able to get into top 15. So that's a huge achievement for you. But considering about all other teams from that 367, that do not worry, your journey doesn't end here, because once the top 15 teams will start their journey in the global platform, the others have our regional program. I'm very happy to announce you right now, because we were able to partner up with ICTA for this year, as they are our national partner this year. We will be revealing the national partnership very soon. So there will be separate sessions from ICTA as well, what they are doing and what are the opportunities that you can get in the ecosystem. So what are the things that you can get with the help from the ICTA, and especially they have started ICTA the 10,000 ideas campaign. So you can join with that campaign as well. So all the relevant details will be shared in our INSL community Facebook group, as well as our Facebook page and all other social media platforms. And you already part of INSL because you are in one of WhatsApp groups in which is belongs to INSL. So we are sharing all the details in that WhatsApp group as well. So do not worry, there'll be lot of things coming on your way to develop yourself and develop your startups and get the support. So the best thing is not participate in the competition. If you participate a competition, yes, you can enjoy, you can develop, and you can win prizes and everything. But the most important thing for a startup is that you need to find mentors, you need to find connections and get the idea, guide, and the support. That is what you need, especially the support. from the ecosystem, startup ecosystem. So we have decided to partner up with several regional startup hubs. So currently we are having discussions with Dream Space Academy from Eastern University, Eastern Province, and we are having discussions with UR Startup Hub for the UR Province people, and we are having some discussions with Sabaragamu Startup Hub and Yala IT Hub for the Northern and Sabaragamu Province people. And there are so many regional startup hubs available. So as INSL, we are having discussions, and almost all discussions are in the final stage, and very soon we will be able to finalize all those things and tell you what are the updates and how you can get involved with them. So there are several programs which is introduced by those regional startup hubs as well, and there are several competitions as well. So you can use the knowledge that you got from INSL, especially the Road to INSL program, to take part in those competitions as well as programs. Most important thing is you can find enough support to develop your startup. So do not worry, there'll be a lot of things coming up for you. So I think once again I need to congratulate. That's once again it's early congratulation. Congratulate top 15 teams as well as all other teams who has applied and got something out of INSL. So just look back and see yourself. Just look back before you start your journey with us, before you start your journey with INSL, where you were and now you are. I think at least there is one step you have gone forward. So well done. And I believe there will be so many potential startups coming up from INSL. And we have special guests today, our chairpersons from INSL 2018, 19, and 20, as well as winners of the INSL competition from 2018, 19, and 20. So they will share their ideas with you, and I believe that will be a motivation for all the organizing committee members, provincial coordinators, as well as the participants. So this is the House of Legends, and I would like to welcome all of you once again to the Legends area. So one final message: we all are facing a terrible pandemic. So it's a global emergency everywhere. So the situation in the country is not good actually, as you can see all in the news and websites and everywhere in the social media. So it's our responsibility to protect ourselves as well as our close ones. So this is not something related to INSL, but this is something we all should keep in our mind. Please protect yourself from you as well as protect your friends and your family from you, because we never know whether we are affected or not. So keep that in mind. Stay healthy, stay strong and positive, and very warm congratulations to all the people who participated in our program, and good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you very much. Stay safe, stay healthy. Pavani, it's over to you.
I have a question. Are you taking questions?
Sorry, Mr. Joe Long, if you have any questions, you can ask these questions at the end of the session, because this is not like a training session or something. This is normal ceremonial session. So if you have any questions, you can ask after the session. Okay, thank you. Okay, Pawan, you can move on with the proceedings.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manodya, for recapping the journey that INSL has come so far and for briefing what lies ahead. Innovation Nation Sri Lanka is going off strong this year. As Mr. Manodya mentioned, we received 1,346 submissions from across the country, representing 37 universities. Here we present you a glimpse of our journey so far. Now let us move on to the first segment of INSL House of Legends 2021. IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka launched in 2018 as a volunteer-led initiative by the IEEE Sri Lanka section to understand the capacity and the need for startup enabler program for youth entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka. We are currently in the midst of marking the fourth straight year of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka after 3 years of tremendous success. Now is the time to hear it from the actual hustlers of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. Their stories of INSL's journey towards success. We have our own past chairpersons and winners here to give us a quick walk down through the past years with their experience. Starting off with the year 2018, the inaugural year of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. Today, we invited the founding chairperson of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka, Mr. Shanaka Hettige. He's a research assistant at Indiana University, Bloomington, and Mr. Shanaka currently serves as a social media chair at IEEE Region 4 and IEEE Young Professionals Liaison at IEEE Entrepreneurship. Let us hear from Mr. Shanaka. Why did he introduce Innovation Nation Sri Lanka, its purpose, and his experience organizing the program with his team as the founding chairperson. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Shanaka Hettige on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause.
Thank you very much, Pavani. So I'll start off with congratulating everyone who applied for 2014 competition. And I hope we will have a quite nice journey throughout this year. And I hope the current organizing team will give you quite a good exposure and experience throughout the coming year. So talking about the initiation of IEEE INSL, it was actually first started in Bosnia and Herzegovina. And back then, and even now, Subodha was one of the entrepreneurship steering committee members, and he was very curious to introduce this program to Sri Lanka as well. The main reason this started in Bosnia was to have, it is focused on third world countries where the entrepreneurship journey can benefit the country's economy immensely. So that's the main reason he was interested in introducing to Sri Lanka as well. That's where he and I got together to introduce INSL to Sri Lanka. So the reason why we got to Sri Lanka is that as a third world country, which is a developing country, it is very important for Sri Lanka to have an entrepreneurship backbone, which is interested in moving our country forward, because that is one of the main ways that you can build a country from ground up. And also, it should be noted that over the past decade, we have seen many innovation competitions, mainly in forms of hackathons and whatnot, which actually give a platform for innovative ideas. But the idea among the participants is that they will participate in the competition, expose their ideas, and win a certain prize and move on. They never stick around their ideas. Most of them never stick around their ideas to develop their ideas into an actual entrepreneurship venture. So because of that, we see many talented individuals who does not move forward in this journey. So that is one of the main reasons for INSL to exist in Sri Lanka, for us to have a platform where such ideas, such people with entrepreneurship ideas can move forward and have an entrepreneurship journey. It should be noted, over the first year, it is actually a challenge for us to convince the participants that they have to be involved in this process beyond the competition for them to succeed. So that was one of the very first targets that we had, and also one of the challenging items of organizing this event in the first year. I'm sure the chairperson from 19, 20, and 21 will let you know how they overcome overcame these challenges. But that is actually one of the main challenges that we had in 2018 to change the mindset of the participants, to let them know that this is beyond a hackathon, beyond a competition where you introduce your ideas, win a prize, and move on. This is somewhere where you can try to become a well-set entrepreneur. So I'm going to look forward to see how this evolved over the upcoming years. And also, I want to congratulate the current organizing team for their success, because if I tell you, at the very first, we only had 50 applicants for the competition in 2018, where we shortlisted 10 teams. So from 50 applicants to a computer base of 1,300 teams is a huge success over a period of 4 years. And I want to congratulate all of you for the achievement that you have had in terms of the competition and how it's grown to be. So talking about the organizing of the competition itself, it was challenging because at that time, this is the longest running organizing committee Entrepreneur Sri Lanka section, because even for the sectional congress, which runs for around 6 months, we had the INSL organizing committee run for around 10 months throughout the year. And it was a challenge of its own, because we require the volunteers to make their commitment for 10 months straight. And that is quite challenging, as throughout the year, there are workshops and other evaluation sessions, and which accumulate on to the final session in SIWP Congress. The commitment of the volunteers was very essential, because it's a very long-standing venture. So that was quite a good experience, because we had a very strong volunteering team, which helped to drive INSL and boost it to what it is today. And also, one of the tactics that we use is that we gave the leadership of each and every event to a certain volunteer, and made them have an experience in leading an event, despite their status in the volunteering committee. They need not to be a lead or a member of the volunteering team. We just let them have leadership of each workshop or evaluation session and so forth, so that they can showcase their volunteering experience. This was actually a very good opportunity for us to identify volunteers who were very keen to move forward. Of course, Mithushan was one of the volunteers in our team as well, who moved on to become the chair. And this was one of the occasions that we were able to identify his talent in these occasions, and it applies to all other volunteers as well. And it should be noted that the exposure that we gain with the volunteering landscape in Sri Lanka when organizing the workshops, and also evaluation sessions, and the judges that we that cooperated with us for each session, gave us a good opportunity for us to identify how we can fit into an entrepreneurship landscape in Sri Lanka. So I can say that was quite a nice experience, and I'm very glad to see how INSL has grown into the current position, with so much more enthusiasm from the participants, and also it has grown to be a huge occasion in Sri Lanka. So yet again, I congratulate all of you, and also I want to congratulate the 15 teams who are going to be announced at the end of this event. And that's all from my end. I hope you will enjoy this session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chanaka. As Mr. Chanaka mentioned, INSL is more than a hackathon or a competition, where it's a platform where you can become an entrepreneur. So thank you, Mr. Chanaka, for everything you brought to the table. To express our gratitude, we would like to present you with a digital token of appreciation. Please accept our sincere appreciation, Mr. Chanaka Hittige.
Thank you very much, Pavani.
It's a privilege to have you here. Thank you once again. Next up, to represent the winners in Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2018, we have Ms. Anushya Thivapalan, the team leader of the team Phoenix, to share what she has gained from INSL. Please welcome Ms. Anushya Thivapalan on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause. Ms. Anushya, the spotlight is all yours, and we would love to hear your thoughts on behalf of your team.
Thank you so much, Pavani, and very good evening to all of you all, the organizing committee, the guests, and most importantly, the participants. I'm pretty much glad to be here. I'm so happy to see so many people being so enthusiastic about this. Congratulations to all the participants for coming up so far. And I'm honestly awestruck by the thing that there are more than 1,300 groups applied for this and the enthusiasm driven by the participants. So let me just walk you guys with my experience from back in 2018. So moving back to 2018, we usually don't have something like product development or this INSL. So usually we used to have hackathons, which spans around 24 hours to probably 1 or 2 days. That was the usual timeline. So always we are coming from a technical background and we are always obsessed about getting high accuracy or high performance. So that's how it was there initially. So that was the mindset we had also till we came to INSL. So we were a team of 4 guys. We came here and even the application, the proposal submission felt like overwhelming because they were asking for the business aspect of our product. But we realized that it was a great opportunity to learn most of the stuff because all of us were coming from a technical background, from computer science engineering, and we were really obsessed about technical stuff. So we did put some effort on figuring out the business aspect of the product. So that was about the target audience, about the product cost, the trade-offs between that. So initially our product is an AI solution. So initially we were thinking about getting high accuracy so that we can have a better product. Later we were able to come up between a trade-off point where we were able to think about the product cost or the administration cost and other finite cost which we'll be facing or coming across in the long run. So that part became clear to us only because we took part in INSL. If not, we will be always obsessed about the performance or the accuracy of the solution we were building. So because in real world, it's not like that. You might need really high-end compute instances if you want to build a high-end AI solution, but it's not worth spending that much when you do not have a proper audience in the target audience who you can sell that costly product. So that was one of the key things we learned back then. So again, moving forward, we had more about the business aspect. So initially we were with the proposal state and all, we were just thinking about the cost and the finite cost and all. Then only with moving forward, we were introduced to these business canvas models and more business related stuff, value proposition and how we should. So that's when we came across this legal stuffs as well. So our product was a med tech product. So initially, we've defined our target audience as an international group because we were addressing a disease. So that's common throughout the world. So our initial thought was, yeah, we are addressing everyone. But later we were able to figure it out that if we are to register or get licensed for a medtech product, possibly in US, we have to spend $1 million. Right. So for that, at that point, we shrink our target audience to Sri Lanka because we know that we can't afford that amount of money at an initial stage. So actually, after taking part in INSL as a team, we understood our product better. We got to know what we are developing, for whom we are developing, and what impact we are making to the real world. So that was the key things for me and my team with this related to the product development and the business aspect and all of those stuff. So moving forward, other than this, we were able to learn something related to how we work as a team. So the key is you can develop any sort of cool product. You can come up with some sort of exciting, awesome solutions. But at the end, you should be able to deliver it to an audience. So if you can't deliver it properly such that everybody understands that, then there's no point you developing a solution. You might get disappointed at a competition when you are pitching your solution because the audience might not understand. So it's really important how you design your pitch, because it should have a consistent flow throughout, so that anybody who is listening to it should understand it. Because it's just that 10 to 30 minutes which you do the presentation and you answer all the questions determines whether you are winning the competitions or not. So that's where we were supposed to put so much of effort in the team planning and all. So a few things I think will help you guys moving forward with this competition or this program is build up on your strengths. I would say, because in our team, we were four of us. So every time we were asked to do a pitch, it was me who does the pitch, right? So because we identified that for me personally, I'm good at doing the pitch alone rather than combining with many people. So our ultimate goal was to convey our idea. So it was always me who does the presentation. Again, there we assigned a person to usually take up all the questions, because within the 10 minutes Q&A session, it's like a spot test. You know your product well than anybody else, but if you do not answer properly during that few minutes, then nobody's going to recognize it, right? So that particular 10 minutes, it's like a spot test. So one of our team member is really good at handling questions on point. So we actually gave him the mic so that he'll be able to answer most of the questions. But we also made sure in case he gets stuck, we are there to back up. So it's not that just one person prepare for everything. We all do the preparation, but we have a focus because he has that strength. So we were building upon that strength. So when it comes to team building, so it's not just about you learn only the business aspect. It's more about taking an organization or leading an organization, leading more people. So that's when we learned that we are supposed to build up on your strength, because our ultimate goal is to make a better presentation and convince the audience that our product is good and it's worth enough. So these are few of the team building skills I would say I learned when I was traveling this journey, because it was for months. It's not for days. It was for months. So I learned it when I was traveling this journey. So these were the main points I want to tell you guys to just keep in mind, so that it might be useful for you. So I'm really happy to see all of you all here with so much of enthusiasm and so much of determination, passion and all. So I know it always feels good to work for your dreams rather than working for someone else's dream. I believe all of you guys are a step ahead of so many other people. You guys are really awesome. Congratulations for the 15 teams that are going to move forward. But for the other teams, I'm saying this is not the end. As the chairperson was mentioning, you guys have a long way to go. And once again, congratulations to everybody here. And thank you, INSL, for having me here. And also thank you for giving the opportunity to take part back in 2018, because back then we didn't have any competitions like this so much. So thank you so much. And yeah, Over to you, Pavani.
Thank you very much, Miss Anushya, for everything you brought to the table. I hope our participants grab the best out of it. So we would like to show our appreciation to you. So please accept this digital token of appreciation.
Thank you so much, Pavani.
It's a pleasure to have you here. The year 2019 marked the second installment of the IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. To share the experience of organizing the program and the journey of INSL in the year 2019, joined with us today is another renowned guest. Today, we invited the chairperson of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2019, Mr. Mithushan Jalangan. He currently serves as a volunteer at IEEE Entrepreneurship Leadership Team, Sri Lanka. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Mithushan Jalangan on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause. Mr. Mithushan, the spotlight is all yours to inspire the gathering.
Yes, I think I'm audible.
Yes, you are.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Pavani, for introducing.
Mithushan, you just muted yourself accidentally.
Okay, sorry, my bad. Thank you. So thank you, Pavani, for actually making the introduction and inviting me to Spotlight, and everyone who is joining us today. It's good enough to see you all virtually, but most of the time, Innovation Nation is supposed to be like a physical event where we meet together, have food, and have fun while grooming the startup ecosystem and grooming ourselves as well. But given the pandemic, things are quite not the same. So that's how things are. Things aren't always the same, like Chanaka mentioned earlier on. The whole mindset of everyone was the fact that, okay, you can build products in 24 hours, you can build up a startup. The problem that Chanaka mentioned was something that we tried to solve in 2019. We wanted to move away from the whole 24-hour hackathon and make it in a more sort of a journey. So 2018 made the stepping stones for that, and 2019 we just focus more on how can we change that mindset, that mind shift that's really needed to drive this ecosystem and also drive the growth of the ecosystem. Having said that, I actually kind of pivoted. So we we were like a set of workshops and mentoring sessions and whatnot as always. So we thought like we'll scope down, we'll niche down, and we started focusing on early stage startups. So that's the biggest shift, the change of mindset that we also had to tackle the whole problem, because as Innovation Nation is itself is like a growing baby, right? We are in the fourth year, like the third year as of now. After 3 years, we're currently running on the fourth year. We are kind of making that pivotal change for ourselves as well. So that's when we introduced the whole pre-accelerator concept, trying to focus on early stage startups. It's because, like Anushya mentioned, everyone who's coming from the engineering background thinks that having a fancy tech makes everything possible, but everyone needs to understand that tech is actually an enabler rather than the dominant factor in any business. I think that's also something that I learned along the way organizing this. That's why we started aligning the concept of Innovation Nation way back in 2019 to fix that mindset. And I'm glad that over the years, Vidura and now Manodya have aligning the programs and also trying to get the maximum out of it. Like even I was like a bit of awestruck when Manodya first mentioned to me, okay, we have 1,300 plus teams who have registered. That's like a massive growth when compared to way back in 2018, we had 50. And the multiplier of the teams that's been applying. And that actually speaks in volume in terms of how the Innovation Nation Sri Lanka brand has grown and also the value that we are making. For people who are like very unsure about how the program is, I'm pretty sure that most like people who are here participants would know it as well. We do have like a set of mentorings as well as workshops, but all these workshops are being covered in a matter of from A to Z, from how do you generate an idea to how do you actually implement it and how do you actually pivot from it. Pivoting is like a separate story of its own, but having said that, I think even Innovation Nation learned the whole story of pivoting because not every idea actually works out well. Every year we keep on changing one way or the other. So I'm happy to see that whole growth that happens year on year and the benefit and the impact that we make year on year, and bringing in more partners, bringing in more facilitators and whatnot is one way that I see the event is also growing. Again, just on a personal note, everyone, Sanaka spoke about how Innovation Nation Sri Lanka has grown, how now next following on with Ross will be talking how it has grown further along the way. But one thing I actually want to touch upon that what Anusha mentioned was the fact that the team players are the key players in terms of you building on their strength. One of the things that we always discuss in terms of the organizing committee or in 2019, or we like to call it the INSL family these days, is the fact that everyone who started organizing, even Chanaka mentioned that it's a very long journey, it's a 10-month journey, even for us, every year it's the same thing. So over the time, you actually inculcate bonds or relationships with your team members, your organizing committee, who actually become family. And that growing year on year, like me taking over from the Chanaka's committee, Vidura taking on from my committee, and then Manodya taking on from Vidura's committee, is like the growth that we see and the knowledge transfer that happens being part of that committee actually slides down in a way that the whole family chain still grows while actually creating more value into it. So apart from the whole organizing part and impact that we make to the society, impact that we make to the startup ecosystem, Innovation Nation Sri Lanka also puts forward volunteers who are more focused towards more value-driven focus rather than doing it for the sake of doing it and whatnot. Just to like on a closing note, even though that there's many more teams and teams that do apply, one thing that we always see is even though that we are making that pivotal mindset change, people still need to understand that having an idea doesn't make anything. We don't want to coin Innovation Nation Sri Lanka as a competition, but more sort of a platform where you can bring your idea, put it forward. Is because the infrastructure that we give you in terms of mentoring and also the workshops as well as the global support that's behind it actually will take you in a way better stance than any other program that would give. That's on a personal opinion. Everyone or every other competition or every other program solves different part of the aspect, catering to different needs. But it's actually happy to see like few teams come out, put out the ideas, like shout out to Havens.lk, who was like part of the 2019, and also Kukuits as well, even though they were part of other programs as well. They were also in a line with whatever we did, and they actually got a lot of benefits out of it. And one thing that we like to see is more teams come forward and implement it rather than going after the program and not doing much. We like a few teams, you would also like everyone who participates to actually put out and launch their startups. But having said that, there's a lot of teams who applied with a different idea, pivoted, and they are launching their startups as well. So in one way or the other, we like to so that just tells us that we're actually heading toward the right direction. And every team that we participate, that's going to participate, the 15 teams that's going to get selected, I hope you guys get the benefit out of it, and also eventually make us realize our dreams as well. Again, building an ecosystem takes time, it takes learning, and that's the learning that every year Innovation Nation learns and changes and pivots in a way that to cater best to launch startups and launch startups, and also give out people to the ecosystem who are more capable and having the entrepreneurial mindset in terms of building products as well. Once again, early congratulations to the teams that are going to get selected. But apart from that, the teams who don't, on a closing note, I would like to mention it's not the end of the road for you guys as well. Like Manoj mentioned, there's a pipeline that's happening. But apart from that, you should also understand, even though you got selected or you didn't get selected, it was on a biased opinion one way or the other, right? Uh, Everyone has their own opinion. Some people might think your startup might succeed, your idea might work out, the other person might not. But that doesn't mean because one person believes it doesn't that it your belief of it should fade away, right? If you feel that it's good enough and it solves a problem, then go for it. Because you lose a competition or you don't get selected to the program doesn't mean your idea is bad. It's just the fact you weren't convincing enough to the judging board saying that, hey, I can make a great impact on that. So get the feedback from them on why you didn't get selected, probably learn from it, pivot from it, and the learnings that you get is like will take you a long, long way ahead. Uh, so that's about it from me. So Pavani, over to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mithushan. Although it was not planned to be held as a virtual gathering, we had to organize this as such due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic in the country. So anyways, it's really nice to hear from you all. So to express our gratitude, we would like to present you with a digital token of appreciation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, team, for having me today.
It's a great pleasure to have you. Thank you once again. Representing the winners of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2019, next in line, we have Mr. Ashank Tamarapallihakkara, the team leader of the team Apnikya, to share what he has gained from INSL. Mr. Ashank, the spotlight is all yours, and we would love to hear from you.
Okay. Thank you, Pavani. Hope I am audible. Hi, everyone. It's me, Tamara, and I am from Team Apnikya. And we were fortunate enough to become the winner of the grand finale of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2019, while we were the second year undergraduates. And I believe that using this valuable opportunity, there are plenty of eager young minds in Sri Lanka have come up with their innovative products to be part of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. And also, to be honest, I am thrilled to see this number of enthusiastic entrepreneurs who have joined IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021 waiting to compete in the grand finale in few weeks. So the first and foremost thing that all of you present here today should remember to be a part of the IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka is that this is not yet another startup competition. This is an accelerator program. In an accelerator program like IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka, you get the opportunity to fine-tune the skills that you already have and expose to the skills that you do not have at the moment. For an example, if you consider me and my team, we are from a technical background because we are students from University of Moratuwa studying engineering. In IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka Accelerator Program, thanks to the Mithusan and the team, they organize a well-structured workshop series where we got the opportunity to learn about the finances, how to do business development, how to cope with legal issues, how to shape our product to the market demand, how we are going to earn money from our product, and how to manage human resources, and also how to build our marketing strategy, and mainly how to attract investors. So being part of the workshops that were conducted in the ecosystem help our team to shape our product to a greater level than we were at the beginning. So for an example, in the one of the workshops done by Mr. Dulitha Vijayawantha, as I remember, he noted that our product name does not properly address our application well. So we did some changes and come up with a new name. And also we were able to get some feedbacks on our business model as well. And to be honest, it was very helpful for us in the investor pitch in the grand final also. Nowadays, due to the pandemic, you guys got a chance to attend the workshops and connect with the experts virtually. where I think it is a great opportunity, and it makes your life more easier to obtain and skills that you need without any extra efforts. Because in our times we have to travel along to that home tree connector at Bumblebee for the workshops. Is that apart from the workshops in INSL, there are plenty of evaluations. There were like semi-final rounds. There were one-to-one mentoring sessions, which are help us to be neck to neck with the startup community in Sri Lanka. Apart from me as a competitor of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka, I was also a member of the organizing committee of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2020. I was one of the Viduras. I was a member of the Viduras team. I think who is going to speak after me, I guess. And I got a chance to work under Manoj, who is the chairman of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. And the point I want to raise here is, I can guarantee you about the quality and the fairness that the organizing team is maintaining inside the competition. I also work with the judges as well, and their marking are so much independent with no biases towards any teams, where you could get an honest judgment of your product or startup at the end of INSL. So hats off to the organizing team who are putting so much hard work for bringing your platform like this to showcase our products in every year. So last, for a word of advice to the contestants who are not selecting to the final today, don't be discouraged. You have come a long way inside this competition. Just work more on your product, engage with more mentors, get more feedbacks, and always don't hesitate to get help from anyone. And come again next year. Maybe you might finish up winning the competition if you have followed the things that you learned from INSL so far correctly. Okay, so building a product is not so easy. We may reach dead ends. In our product is also there. But keep in mind that one day somehow you will take your product to the market. So for the teams who are going to the finals today, congratulations. My advice is to participate every workshops and get the maximum out of them, and fine-tune your product to the proper standards. And also connect with the people who are doing workshops and mentor, because they will help you to develop your product even after the competition also. In 2019, we were able to meet some pioneers in the startup ecosystem in Sri Lanka, like Mr. Mudit Batagara, Mr. Aloka Gunasekara, Mr. Dulit Vijayawantha, Mr. Mithila from Picni, and Mr. Keerthi Kodithuwappu, like that. So I think INSL is a great opportunity to find professionals in this field. For the finals, make a good business model, be confident of your idea, pitch it properly to the judges. You will surely win this competition. And mark your challenges. For us and the team that won the second place in 2019, since our products are more related to healthcare sector, we had to make sure about the facts that we need to deliver, that we need to convince the judges without confusing them about the technical when talking about the technical aspect. So like that, what I need to tell at the last is, INSL is not just about winning and collecting some money and going home. It is all about skills that you have gained, and and the level that you are able to build your product. So congratulations everyone who are selecting to the finals, and congratulations those who are not selecting finals. Keep focus on your product and build them to the market. And thank you. Good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashan, for sharing your experience as a winner as well as a part of the INSL family. So please accept this digital token of appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you, Manoj and team, for having me today. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to have you. It is now time to hear from the immediate past chairperson what sort of an experience he had when organizing the program last year. I think his experience is somewhat contrasting because the entire event was held virtually owing to the completely unforeseen COVID-19 pandemic. Without taking much time, let me invite the chairperson of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2020, Mr. Vidura Dhananjaya. He's a project manager at the AI team and currently serves as the SAC Membership Development Subcommittee Chair at IEEE Sri Lanka section. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. Vidura Dhananjaya on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause.
Thank you guys. I hope you guys can hear me without any noise or anything.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, all good. Okay. First of all, I would like to say, let me turn on my pitch timer. Okay, it's good. It was 2018, if I'm not wrong, when I met Chanaka at 2018 family get together of IEEE Sri Lanka section. That place is the first time I heard about the word INSL. Then I said, okay, we can do that. And then in 2019, I was able to become the program lead in Innovation Nation Sri Lanka with Mithushan accompanying me as a chairman. And then that was the place where everything went sideways. We were able to make a family, which supports me to be the next chairman as the IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2020. I was just thinking about something else in my head. Back in the day, me, Manodya, and Mithushan, we all three were working in the same committee in 19, and then we had a vision. Okay, we will do something like that. If I'm not wrong, if Manodya remembers, it was 2019 Congress second day, it was second day, midnight, around 3 a.m., not in the midnight, about 3 a.m. in the morning. Mano, me, Mithushan, Thivyan, and Parami Pinsara, we took a car out and we went to a place to have a chat and to drink some tea and to have some buns and all. That's the place where we planned 2020 INSL. That's the time we had the discussion to plan 2020 INSL. We planned everything perfectly down to very tiny piece, but COVID hits and we had to go fully online. I was like super upside down with all my plans. Like, yeah, I planned a big game. I talked a big game, but now what do I have to do? Then this online thing was new. And when it's going online, the webinars and everything, we use WebEx. That's the much like a recommended thing to do, Cisco WebEx, when it's come to webinars and online sessions by IEEE. So what I did was I had my first hustle story with Manodya in WebEx. We screwed it all. We screwed up. The platform was not fitting to Sri Lankan community. We were getting so much of bad comments. Like, why are we even on this thing? Why? It was all about being in the right platform. Then we moved out to be in Zoom. Everything went fine. And we were able to do a really good job out there with going online. Our previous committee from Dilni and we had Dilni, we had Mithushan, we had Chanaka, we had Mare. Each and every one of them supported us all the way, especially Subodha. Subodha, like, he was the main key supporter and our main cheerleader when we are doing a really good job out there. So they supported us to go fully online. As I mentioned earlier, we had a family in 19. That family was always there to support us. That family kept us without getting down. So they supported us all the way to go online again. We were able to hit nearly around 100. And in this year, it went more than 1,000. Manodya, you have done a great job. This committee have done a great job as well. In our year, in 2020, we were able to have Tamara as well as Hazara. both of them are really important for us. You know why? Because both of them were finalists, and one of them, who's a person talked earlier, was a winner in 2019 INSL, where we able to learn how we can shape up this, how we can fine tune this program, and how we can move on with a better product. And in 2020, Manodya and I had a chat about revamping this Innovation Nation scene. Manodya had a great idea. He told me, Vidur, I can do this. Let's do this. And I was like, okay, let's do it. And he was able to prove his plan with results. More than 1,000 applications, reaching every tiny place in Sri Lanka. He was able to brought up the Innovation Nation name to the next level. In 19, we had new faces as speakers and mentors. In 20, we were able to grow it to be great new speakers. They were like, most of the speakers and the mentors were doing it for the first time, but they was doing a great job. And they supported so many lives. In this year, 2021 crew doing an amazing job. And I would like to congratulate each and every one of you who are here today as participants. You are in the best version of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka itself, as if for today. Don't like let yourself down if you're not selected for the final. You will like get into touch with another programs and other communities and other support programs, because this year Innovation Nation Sri Lanka contends up and partnered up with so many partners who are going to shape up your startup to its next level. Nothing to be worried and nothing to be like sad. When it comes to COVID-19, still we had to go online, but I know this committee trying super hard and giving out the best of the best to make it at least one thing physical. Like as Mithushan mentioned earlier, in 19 and in 18, when we are doing INSL, like it was about meeting friends, getting to know each other, growing up the network, and food. Food was like the main thing. And yeah, it was a really good memory to walk along. And I still have a photo of me, Manodya, and Mithushan. We took in on a day out in 19. In 19, like we used to have so much of day outs. Each like for every week we have a day out. INSL team every week going for a day out. Like it was a really fun thing. And when we're taking that photo, me, Manodya, and Mithushan, none of us thought that we would become shamans along the way, but we were. And that was a really amazing memory for me when it's come to Innovation Nation Sri Lanka. As well, I would like to say one thing. As Ashan mentioned, we can guarantee of the unbiasedness of this particular sessions, which is happening as well. I don't like to like call it as a competition. I would like to call it as much more a sessions, because in here, Innovation Nation Sri Lanka, we nurture young entrepreneurs. We nurture young startups. We don't make a money cow out of it. So yeah, this is all about having sessions, and they are really, really, really unbiased, and we can give a guarantee. As a participant in 19, as a winner of the 19, as Ashan mentioned, I pointed him as the coordinating and overlooking person of all the speakers and mentors and judges. He did an amazing job along with Manodya, because I wanted to make sure everything happens unbiased. And now we are keeping up the trend, we are keeping up the tradition in this year as well. So please be with this and don't let yourself down, because we have startups like Hasara's startup that was not the winning team in 19, but they were able to build up a real business out there. And they were able to go to UNDP Hack Day when they became finalists. They had got the investments and everything. Now they are doing a really good job. Like that. You don't need to be a winner to really win in life. You just need not to give up. Please don't give up. Just fight for yourself. And that's 10 minutes. I was about to say that's 1 minute, but I was going up with Nastelia. I'm sorry about that. And that's 10 minutes. See you on the next day. Over to you again, Pawan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vidura. As he mentioned, it might be challenging and hard at the beginning, but don't quit. Keep doing what you're doing. So to show you our gratitude, we would like to present you with the digital token of appreciation. Mr. Vidura?
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much.
It's a great pleasure to have you here. Let us now hear from the winners of the last year, what exactly INSL added to their lives. Next up, to represent the winners of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2020, we have Mr. Navaratna Rajasuman, the team leader of the team Hydros, to share what he has gained from INSL. Mr. Navaratna Raja, the spotlight is all yours, and we would love to hear your thoughts on behalf of your team.
Greetings to all the participants, organizers, mentors, and alumni of INSL. I am Suman Navaratna Raja, representing the of 2020 INSL. It is a great privilege for me to talk on this great event happening. We were actually working on a technology embedded for an agricultural product, and we were fortunate enough to become the winners of INSL 20. Actually, we went with a simple idea, and we had a great to take it forward with the aim of wanting to improve our product to a commercial level. What we did was we registered for INSL, and then after the shortlisting process, out of many applications, we were fortunate to get shortlisted to the final. And after that, we were given credentials to access a library of startup materials. It was very useful, and if you get the chance to get access to this startup library, you must go through all these resources because it's a great resource for building a great startup or a product. We had last year we had a fantastic group of organizers who helped us in accessing the content, and also they invited experts from many different fields who shared their knowledge on many topics, which was really useful for us. Not only that, I believe that many technical and business mentors that were connected to us took their precious time to polish our business models and also the technical deep, for which we are still thankful forever. You will have a lot of network or connections while you go through this journey of INSL. I believe we were the first batch of INSL that participated in the entire event fully virtual, and it was really a great experience apart from the physical interactions that we missed. I believe today the shortlisted participants will be announced, and I congratulate in advance for those who have come up to this stage and those who are going to get selected and proceed to the next round. I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for inviting us to this event. And finally, I wish everyone all the best to continue on their passion of building a great product, even if you are unfortunately not able to make it to the next process. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Navaratna Rajasuman. Please accept this digital token of appreciation for everything you brought to the table.
Thank you very much.
That brings us to the end of that wonderful segment. It was so nice to hear from our own legends, and I believe everyone snatched something from them. On behalf of the organizing committee, I once again like to express my deepest appreciation to all the guest speakers for everything they brought to the table. This evening's value and color were heightened by your presence. Now I would like to take a moment to admire and present you the huge pillars behind the curtain who assisted us in choosing the best of the best. They are none other than our judges. The initial round evaluations were carried out by Mr. Vidura Dhananjaya, Mr. Mithushan Jalangan, Ms. Dilini Ekanayaka, Mr. Hirushigan Karuneswaran, Ms. Maheshika Madhubashini, Mr. Shamika Sudhasingha, Mr. Subodha Iranga, and Mr. Thivyan Karuneswaran. In this round, 32 teams were selected out of 124 submissions that we received to the Innovation Nation Global platform. And the second round evaluations were carried out by Mr. Mafas Ifharm, co-founder and chief storyteller at Show and Tell Private Limited, Mr. Damika Marsingha, associate technical lead at Maturify, and Mr. Jehan Vijay Singha, head of product management at Paladin Analytics. In this round, the top 15 teams were selected to compete in the semi-final round of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. I would like to extend a big thanks and a big shout out to our esteemed panel of judges, because if it wasn't for our judges, we would not be able to make it alone. We truly appreciate their time and contribution put into this and are truly grateful for them. Let us give a big round of applause for our panel of judges. Next in line is another distinguished guest on behalf of the panel of judges who joined us on this special evening. He's an associate technical lead at Maturify and serves as the student activities chair of the IEEE Sri Lanka section. He's also a volunteer at GSEA Sri Lanka and serves as a capacity forum volunteer at SLASCOM Sri Lanka. Without taking much time, I would like to invite Mr. Damika Marsingha to address the audience on behalf of our esteemed panel of judges. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Damika Marsingha on Spotlight with a virtual round of applause. Mr. Damika, the spotlight is all yours.
Thanks a lot, Pavani, for the introduction. And welcome everyone for this evening where we host the House of Legends. And it's a really great movement because we saw past 3 years like what we've done with INSL and what we are doing with INSL this year as well when one of the initially explained. So as you can see, INSL has come a long way from 2018 from multiple aspects, be it the number of workshops that we do, be it the number of reach that we have in terms of applications and the effort and different kind of supports that we do. So with all that, today in a few minutes, you will be knowing who will be actually like going ahead with the INSL global program that we are having, all the workshop series, the mentoring support, likewise. So I'll initially like tell a few things to people who selected the 30 teams, and even down the line, like initially as Manoj they mentioned, there were 1,300 people who were really interested in taking part of INSL, and around that more than 500 people, they even had ideas, and around 300, if I'm not mistaken, had even participated in different kind of hackathons, but still they found the value of INSL, especially being the workshop series that we do focusing on each aspects where these young undergraduates and likewise entrepreneurs should know about. So with that, the last time after Road to INSL series, we had this series of application about 130, and from that we got 32 applications for the final round of judges where Mafas, myself and Jehan actually went through individually each of these applications, and then we combined together and had a discussions about each of these ideas collectively and selected these final 15 ideas that are going to get support in terms of the global program and other things in this year. So there we from the INSL, both local as well as with the help of a global leadership team, they've come up with a really good marking criteria this year, which consist of problem identification, startup overview, business model, marketing, as well as the technology overview. So it's not only based on what you've done, it's not just based on the prototype that you have or just the idea that you have. We consider a lot of aspects, and that's the main reason why even when it comes to INSL, specifically Road to INSL, where they were quite focused on business model canvas and even the pitch deck, where we really went through those things to figure out whether the teams has actually gone through different kind of problem identification, whether they have actually talked to customers, to real customers to identify and have they identify some of the potential revenue streams, the different cost structures, likewise in their team. That gives us a measure to identify whether you as a team can actually are interested and if you are really putting effort. Because as you all know, being a startup or being a founder, it's really cool. But then again, the effort that we need to put to become a founder or even to be in a startup, there's a lot of things that you need to put on. So along that line, these are the things that we looked up when we look at your proposals and pitch decks as well as the video presentations you all have submitted. So with that, you'll know who the winners are in a few minutes. But what I have to say is we found really interesting ideas, not just technical, the different aspects in different other domains, not only software solutions, hardware solutions, different kind of food technology solutions, some manufacturer solutions, likewise. And it's really nice to see even this the diversity in the ideas that we were getting. And as everyone was mentioning, the other aspect that I want to mention, especially being the student activities share, the what happens to the all other teams who are interested, not just the 30 teams who selected to the final judging selection round, not even the 100 other teams that who have supported, but with the submissions that we received, with the interest that all of you have shown, we've identified the what INSL and what IEEE can do in order to support the startup, especially coming from undergraduates, the ideas that you have and how we can actually help you polish those ideas to a better level. And that can be a like idea that you start today, which you might pivot in a few weeks or few months, because you identified, you learn more different things, and the team you start can be differ because you might get more diverse people to cater into different other areas. Likewise, it's happy to announce also, as Manod initially mentioned, IEEE this year we got into even MOU with ICTA, which is the National Startup Ecosystem Development, who's the one who's having ownership on that. And with that, like we've been supporting in multiple programs. For example, all the current startups who are still working on even after like getting selected to the final 3 of INSL program. So this year, actually this Monday, we are having another mentoring session with them with ICTA to get them on board to IEEE pre-incubation program, which then like they'll go into registering their teams and different other support, and even go into the programs like spiralation. And it's not there alone. For example, the 10,000 ideas, the one that another idea that Manodya mentioned. There again, IEEE is making a pivotal role as ambassador partner of 10,000 Ideas initiative. And with that, we are going to help in terms of connecting all these different kind of regional and different university stakeholders with the strong provincial coordinators network that we are having with the INSL team. With you might have not noticed sometimes, but all the participants who applied this year knows that you got a really good support from the regional coordinators that we have in, or university representatives. So with all that, what we are going to do, we'll connect you with all different kind of stakeholders in the startup ecosystem. Those can be sometimes in regional, for example, like the discussions that we had with the Dream Space Academy to motivate more startups to become in the Eastern province. And we are also to have another discussions with other startup hub providers like Sabaragamu, and yeah, as well as the established providers like Hatch. So with all that, we are here to support you. And as Manodya mentioned, stay in touch with most of the like INS, be it INSL community, or else you all are part in different kind of Google groups, WhatsApp groups, where we would continuously inform you about these different initiatives that are to happen. And with that, I'll stop my session. Then again, I'll congratulate all the 15s who are going to participate in this year, and we hope you'll really get the best of the program, especially the workshop series as well as the mentoring session. And rest of all the teams who are presenting here today, but still getting support. Don't worry, we are also working on the open library, which we have the open sessions for all other participants who are not getting access to INSL global platform, as well as all the other stakeholder connection supports that you'll be getting. And also, if you want any feedback in terms of your application, what exactly happens and why you didn't get selected or why you got selected, you shared all our feedbacks, all three judges with the panel. The different kind of feedbacks that we had, sometimes like focusing on certain aspects likewise. So you may get all that from the team so that you can work on those and apply for different other programs that we have in the startup ecosystem. With that, thank you everyone and good luck and congratulations new teams.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dhammika, for briefing the judging criteria and the future plan for the upcoming provincial program as well. It's a great pleasure to have you here at INSL House of Legends 2021. The moment everyone is eagerly waiting for has finally arrived. Over 1,000 visionary innovative entrepreneurs, 124 teams, and one goal. The goal is to become one of the 15 idealistic teams. Are you curious enough to find out? As we are nearing the end of this special evening, now it is time to reveal the top 15 teams who will be eligible for the semi-final round. Contestants, keep your fingers crossed and buckle up to be legendary. Here comes the moment to reveal the legendary. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to the top 15 teams of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. My warm wishes for all the selected teams tonight. May I once again repeat the top 15 teams who will be competing in the semi-final round of Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. Starting off with Arbiana with Seawater Electric Battery, Cod Girls with U Event, Digital Control with Astral Plane, Diversion with Ape Kottu, Durian Sala with Apply Zero Waste Concept for Durian Fruit, Phonics Software Solutions with Exam Hub, Hydrotech with Hydropel, Imicap Private Limited with Healthy Food Scanner, Saban Naturals with Natural Cosmetics, Team Lumos with Project TFL, The First Light, Team Medipack with Medipack, the Team 200 with ILEC, Trash for Trade with Plastic Upcycling and Downcycling, Trixmatics with Logistics Tracking Platform, and finally, UNotes Edu Technologies Private Limited with UNotes. I congratulate the top 15 teams and wish them the best of luck there in future endeavors. We're looking forward to seeing those innovative minds in the end game. At the same time, I would like to wish all the very best to the rest of the teams as well. So keep an eye on our social media pages and stay alert with us since we are setting up a separate program for you guys in the near future. That brings us to the end of this gathering, INSL House of Legends 2021. Last but not least, the invitation goes out to Ms. Senuri Ranatunga, Secretary Team Member of IEEE Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021, to deliver the vote of thanks. Over to you, Ms. Senuri.
Thank you, Pavani. Good evening to all of you. It's my privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Innovation Nation Sri Lanka 2021. Our esteemed guests for the day, Mr. Chanaka Hettige, Chairperson IEEE INSL 2018, Mr. Mithushan Jalangan, Chairperson IEEE INSL 2019, Mr. Vidura Dhananjay, Chairperson IEEE INSL 2020, Ms. Anushya Thevapalan, Team Leader of the winning team, IEEE INSL 2018, Mr. Ashant Tamara Palihakkara, Team Leader of the winning team, IEEE INSL 2019, Mr. Navaratna Raja Suman, Team Leader of the winning team, IEEE INSL 2020. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time and sharing your experiences in INSL with us today. We believe our audience learned a lot from your session. And also a special mention to Mr. Dhammika Marasinghe, Chairperson of the Student Activities Committee, IEEE Sri Lanka section, and Ms. Ligini Rajapaksha, Sectional Student Representative, for support and guidance throughout this time. To all the team leads and members, we are very much delighted by your presence here with us today. Last this session would not be successful throughout the session. Once again, and every one of you, thank you. Over to you, Pavani.
Thank you, Ms. Senuri. Now let us all join together to capture the ending of this wonderful evening. I kindly request all of you to turn on your cameras and join us for a group picture.